We all love a good thrill, don't we? That rush of adrenaline, the excitement that makes our hearts race and our palms sweat. It's a universal experience, one that transcends cultures and languages. But what exactly is it that makes us feel this way? What is the essence of suspense? That feeling of anticipation, the knot in your stomach, the racing heart. That's suspense. It's that moment when you're on the edge of your seat, waiting for something to happen, but not knowing exactly what or when. It's the uncertainty that keeps you hooked, the unknown that makes you hold your breath. It's the art of keeping the audience guessing, on the edge of their seats, dying to know what happens next. Whether it's a movie, a book, or even a real-life situation, suspense is what keeps us engaged, what makes us care about the outcome. It's a delicate balance, a dance between revealing just enough to keep us interested, but not so much that we lose interest. But suspense is more than just cheap thrills. It's not just about jump scares or shocking twists. It's about creating a sense of anticipation, a feeling that something important is about to happen. It's about building tension, layer by layer, until it reaches a crescendo. It's a carefully crafted dance between the known and the unknown. The best suspense stories give us just enough information to keep us intrigued, but not so much that we can predict the outcome. They play with our expectations, leading us down one path, only to surprise us with a twist we didn't see coming. Suspense is often confused with tension and fear, but they are not the same. Tension is the buildup of emotional pressure, the feeling that something is about to happen. It's the anticipation, the waiting, the sense that the other shoe is about to drop. Tension is the buildup of emotional pressure. It's the feeling you get when you're waiting for something to happen, when you know that something is coming, but you don't know what or when. It's the anticipation, the sense of impending doom. Fear is an immediate, visceral reaction to danger. It's the fight or flight response, the instinctive reaction to a threat. It's the feeling you get when you're faced with a sudden, unexpected danger, when your heart races and your body prepares to either fight or flee. Suspense, on the other hand, thrives on uncertainty. It's the what if, the what's going to happen next, that keeps us hooked. It's the feeling of not knowing, the sense of anticipation that keeps us on the edge of our seats. It's the what if, the what's going to happen next, that keeps us hooked. It's the feeling of not knowing, the sense of anticipation that keeps us on the edge of our seats. It's the uncertainty, the unknown, that makes us hold our breath and wait for the next twist or turn. Think of it like this. Tension is the tightrope walker slowly making their way across the highway. It's the build-up, the anticipation, the sense that something is about to happen. It's the feeling you get when you're watching someone walk a tightrope, when you know that one wrong move could mean disaster. Fear is the feeling you get when they lose their balance. It's the immediate, visceral reaction to danger, the instinctive response to a threat. It's the feeling you get when you see the tightrope walker start to sway, when you know that they could fall at any moment. Suspense is wondering if they'll make it to the other side. It's the uncertainty, the anticipation, the sense of not knowing what will happen next. It's the feeling you get when you're watching the tightrope walker make their way across the high wire, when you're holding your breath, waiting to see if they'll make it to the other side. It's the thrill of the unknown, the excitement of not knowing what will happen next. And that's what makes suspense so powerful, so captivating, so unforgettable.
Mystery is the lifeblood of suspense. It's the element that keeps us on the edge of our seats, our hearts pounding, our minds racing with possibilities. It's the unanswered question, the hidden truth, the lurking danger that keeps us turning pages or glued to the screen. The very essence of suspense lies in the unknown, in the shadows that hide the truth from our view. Without mystery, there can be no suspense. Uncertainty is equally important. It's the uncertainty that gnaws at us, that makes us question what we see and hear. It's the feeling that something is just out of reach, just beyond our understanding. If we know exactly what's going to happen, there's no thrill, no anticipation. The thrill comes from not knowing, from the tension that builds as we wait for the next twist, the next revelation. It's the anticipation that makes our hearts race and our palms sweat. Suspense requires us to be kept in the dark, at least partially. We need to be fed just enough information to keep us hooked, but not so much that we can see the whole picture. It's a delicate balance, a dance between revelation and concealment. We need to feel a sense of dread, of not knowing whether the hero will succeed or the bomb will explode. It's the fear of the unknown, the sense that anything could happen, that keeps us on the edge of our seats. Think of a good detective novel. The best ones are those that keep us guessing, that lead us down one path only to reveal that we've been misled. We're presented with a crime, a cast of suspicious characters, and a web of clues. Each clue, each character adds to the mystery, deepening the suspense. We become detectives ourselves, piecing together the puzzle, trying to see the bigger picture. The author dangles possibilities before us, leading us down false trails, keeping us guessing until the very end. That's suspense in action. It's the art of keeping us in the dark, of making us question everything we think we know. It's the thrill of the chase, the excitement of the unknown, the satisfaction of finally uncovering the truth. Suspense is a masterful blend of mystery, uncertainty, and anticipation. And it's what makes a story truly unforgettable.
Creating suspense is like building a roller coaster. You need slow climbs, sudden drops, and unexpected twists to keep the adrenaline pumping. Imagine the anticipation as the roller coaster climbs higher and higher, the tension building with every click of the track. You know something big is coming, but you don't know exactly when or how. Then, suddenly, you plunge into a rapid descent, your heart racing as the unexpected twists and turns keep you on the edge of your seat. This is the essence of suspense, keeping your audience guessing and engaged, never quite sure what will happen next. One way to do this is by manipulating time. A ticking clock, a deadline looming, a sense of urgency can all ratchet up the tension. Think about how a simple countdown can make your heart race. The seconds ticking away, each one bringing you closer to an unknown outcome. The pressure mounts as the deadline approaches, and the anxiety becomes almost palpable. This technique is used effectively in thrillers and action movies, where the protagonist is racing against time to defuse a bomb or save a life. The clock becomes a character in itself, driving the narrative forward and heightening the stakes. Atmosphere is another powerful tool. Think about the use of shadows, sound, and setting in horror movies. The right atmosphere can make even the most mundane scene feel ominous and foreboding. A dark, shadowy room can hide untold dangers, while an eerie, foggy forest can make you feel lost and vulnerable. The setting becomes a character in its own right, influencing the mood and tone of the story. Sound plays a crucial role as well. Creaking floors, distant howls, and sudden silences can all contribute to a sense of unease and anticipation. A creaking door, a darkened hallway, a sudden gust of wind can all send shivers down your spine. These elements are not just background details, they are carefully crafted to evoke a specific emotional response. The slow creak of a door opening can make your heart skip a beat, while flickering lights in a dark hallway can create a sense of disorientation and fear. A sudden gust of wind blowing through curtains can signal an unseen presence, making you question what lies beyond the shadows. These techniques are all about creating a sensory experience that draws the audience deeper into the story. Remember the famous shower scene in Psycho? Hitchcock didn't even show the knife, but the combination of quick cuts, Bernard Herrmann's screeching score, and the vulnerability of the setting created one of the most suspenseful scenes in cinematic history. The rapid editing and jarring music work together to create a sense of chaos and terror, while the confined space of the shower makes the victim's vulnerability all the more palpable. This scene is a masterclass in building suspense through suggestion rather than explicit violence. It's a reminder that sometimes what you don't show can be even more terrifying than what you do. The power of anticipation lies in the unknown, in the fear of what might happen next.
Section 4. Masters of the Craft. Examples in literature and film. Literature and film are filled with examples of masterful suspense. Think of Edgar Allan Poe's The Telltale Heart, where the narrator's guilt and paranoia build to a fever pitch. Or consider the heart-stopping chase scenes in The Silence of the Lambs, where we're trapped in Clarice Starling's shoes, fearing for her life as she hunts a serial killer. Steven Spielberg's Jaws is a masterclass in suspense. He builds tension slowly, using music, underwater shots, and the unseen presence of the shark to create a palpable sense of dread. We know the shark is out there, but we never know when or where it will strike next. Section 5. Hitchcock knew. Words from the Master of Suspense. Alfred Hitchcock, the undisputed master of suspense, famously said, "There is a distinct difference between suspense and surprise." And yet many pictures continually confuse the two. He believed that suspense is about giving the audience information, letting them in on the secret, while still keeping them on the edge of their seats. "Let's suppose that there is a bomb underneath this table between us," Hitchcock once explained. Nothing happens, and then all of a sudden, boom! There's an explosion. The public is surprised, but prior to this surprise, it has seen an absolutely ordinary scene of no special consequence.